House of the Dragon trailer, Rhaenyra Targaryen explained. The trailer for the upcoming Game of Thrones prequel series was recently released, and there was so much to unpack from it. After viewing it, I thought it would be worth delving into the main protagonist and finding out all of the information that there is to know about her prior to the show. So let's jump in. Here is Rhaenyra Targaryen explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers from the plot of the show. The prequel series House of the Dragons is set 300 years prior to the Game of Thrones that we know, so there's no close relation to any of the characters in the show. However, the characters that we are familiar with in Game of Thrones are descendants. If we're looking at the closest relation to any of the characters that we're familiar with in the show, Rhaenyra would be considered a distant relative of Daenerys Targaryen. I believe it would be around 8 times removed. You can see the similarities in terms of their appearance with the distinct Targaryen look and feel. Rhaenyra does have her own dragon too, just like Daenerys, and the dragon that she rides is called Syrax. Rhaenyra is the firstborn child to King Viserys, who is the 5th king of the 7 kingdoms. She spent the majority of her life believing that she would be queen of Westeros, just like we saw Daenerys go through in Game of Thrones, so there's another similarity there. I imagine she'll likely have a similar temperament to what we saw Daenerys have in the show, believing that she's the rightful heir and deserves what is hers. Rhaenyra's father's younger brother Daemon, played by Matt Smith, was set to be heir to the throne, but the majority of people felt he was unruly to be considered in line to the throne, which led Viserys to name Rhaenyra next in line. This decision set a lot of upset and disruption amongst everybody, due to the fact that it went against the male preferred heir, which was something that allowed Viserys to claim the throne many years ago over his older cousin who was a female. I could imagine there being some disruption between Rhaenyra and her uncle due to the fact that he was the closest heir to the throne, and she appeared to have taken it from him. However, it does appear that he is a supporter of her when looking at the show synopsis. The show synopsis states that she was born with everything but was not born as a man, which leads me to think that she's going to be an extremely powerful person in the show, but maybe due to the fact that she is a female and it goes against tradition in that world, that she will not get the authority or respect that she deserves, considering the power, family name, and everything that she holds. We know that the main plot of House of the Dragon is centered around a civil war called the Dance of the Dragon, and that it's between herself and her younger half-brother who is 10 years younger, called Aegon II Targaryen. Throughout this war, dragon riders would spend 3 years amongst this civil war fighting each other, under either Rhaenyra or Aegon II, depending on who they loyally served. The civil war was sparked when Viserys died and Rhaenyra was about to go into labour. By this point, Aegon II ensured that the news did not reach her of their father's death, and he made sure that her sister's loyal followers were either dead or in prison before she found out. But more importantly, he wanted his coronation to begin so he could take the throne. This led her to go into an early labour and give birth to a stillborn child, which then led her to blame it on Aegon II and her enemies, which only fueled the anger further. She then had her own coronation as she wore the crown that was worn by her father, and thus the story would then unfold. This is just merely a brief introduction to the character and the reason why the show gets set up the way it does. The prequel is going to provide a lot more clarity and a universe that allows us to enter the world that we've been apart from for the past few years. I can't wait to see it unfold and join it again. Do you think this prequel will be good? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.